Time to get off to start on SEC week. This is an exciting week to get going, playing the first conference game. This team is needs some work, obviously, in some areas. The thing is, as a head coach, you always look at one thing: are they giving effort? And this group has given as much effort as I've seen in the first two games and in practice as any teams that we've had. We've obviously struggled with turnovers and some inconsistencies, but that will get better. I have a lot of confidence in this team. I have a lot of confidence in the players, how we're playing it. But again, we've just got to pay attention more to detail and little things and do those better. And we're going to be a lot better football team. We'll get better as the year goes on. I'm real proud of how some of the seniors have stepped up in practice, especially this week, and knowing that we had a setback, but we've got a long season to go and we can get much better. And so we take it one day at a time and we go in that direction. I know Brandon Cox has taken a lot of heat, and you know, Brandon Cox is our quarterback. He will be our quarterback. He's a good football player. I think that Brandon's kind of taken more on his shoulders in the last couple of weeks than he probably should have. He's tried to force the issue. He has taken some hits, and he knew that going into the season. But one thing I've liked about Brandon since I've been here, and even when I watched him as a high school player, he was very versatile. He tough young man that can take licks and get back up and keep swinging. And he did that last year and did it the year before, and is doing that this year. But that's the way quarterbacks go. They get a lot of credit and they get a lot of criticism. I'm proud of it, and he is our starting quarterback and will be. So I know that we're all kind of disgruntled over, you know, how we're scoring points and the inconsistency, but you know, that's offense. And when you play good defenses early in the season, your lack of usually shows up pretty quick, and it showed up for us. And in the past few years, we've won on defense, kicking game, and running the football. And this year, our running game really has not been up to par, and that's been pretty much the reason that we don't feel as good about this football team as probably we should. But it will get better, and we'll work very hard at it. And again, the attitude is great. I like the what we've done in the kicking game. Obviously, I've never been on a football team in my tenure that's had two injuries to their main kickers in 2 games, and it's made some young guys step up. And Patrick Tatum did a good job last week of filling in for Ryan Shoemaker. He's going to be a heck of a punter, and Ryan is out this week. He had a dislocated elbow. He will get better the next couple of weeks and hopefully be back soon. But we have all confidence in Patrick Tatum. Wesley Byram has a lot of guts. He came back and kicked last week with a swollen ankle and competed very hard. He did not kick off because he can't run. He's gotten a lot better than that and could possibly kick off this week. But really pleased with a lot of areas. The one area last week that we normally don't have breakdowns on was our kickoff coverage, and you know, we'd love to have that back and opportunity to make plays on that last kickoff return. But you know, we've lived on the edge for the last 3 years, and a lot of close games, and we've won most of them, and that one kind of got by us. And you know, there's a lot of reasons for it, but we're not going to dwell on that. We're going to dwell on the future and the positives, because there were a lot of positives in that game. I thought the second quarter our offense looked like a very good offensive football team, and then we lost our momentum with 2 or 3 fumbles in the third quarter that set us back, and we never really regained that, but hopefully we'll regain that this week. I thought defensively we competed hard, and you know, we kept us in the ball game. That game could have been over with by the end of the third quarter if our defense didn't step up with the mistakes that we were making. But had a lot of great individual efforts against a good football team that will win a lot of games. We know a lot about this team. We know what we need to do to have an opportunity to win in the SEC now, and again, those are behind us, and we're going to look forward and not look back and work very hard. Mississippi State, a much improved football team. Sylvester's been working very hard at this team for the past few years, and he's had some setbacks, but I know he's excited about this team. They opened up against a very good football team in LSU. You could tell how hard they played. Again, it's very hard to play against all the skill players that they had, and they just made some mistakes and got behind, and things kind of fell out of place for them. But last week they got back on track. Again, this is a football team that will improve, as ours will as the year goes on. I know Sylvester's, just hear all the things talked about him, even in preseason about hot seat. If Sylvester Croom is on the hot seat, then we need to look around and check ourselves, because here's a guy that came in and took over a program that was dismantled, out of control, that needed some leadership in their football program, and bring some dignity and character back to it, and he has definitely done that. And I'm proud to say I'm a friend of his. He's worked very hard, done it the right way. He didn't come in the first year and skirt the rules and try to just throw a team together to win. He's looking out for those young guys, and he's doing it the right way. And my two kids growing up, if he stays in it long enough, I'd love for them to play for him, because he's the type of guy that you want to coach your kids. And again, it's going to take him a while longer than 3 or 4 years. When you take over a program that is in the shape that one was in when he took it over, I'm sure he's got a 10-year plan in. And a lot of people sometimes don't wait for 10 years, and that's their fault. Because when you take over a program like that, you need opportunities to get that thing intact. And again, he's done a great job, and hopefully we can knock him off this week. But I'm telling you, every time we play them, our players always say, Coach, these guys played as hard as anybody that we played, and we expect that this weekend. Questions?
When you talked about the running game a little bit, Brad Lester is just still the same status.
Yeah, same thing.
What's Tristan's status?
Tristan has got his boot off, is walking, putting pressure on it. We'll start to walk and hopefully jog by the end of the week, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks he can be back going. And it's been a process, but we're going to take it slow, and knowing that his health is the number one thing. But he's anxious to get back. But his expertise is his quickness and speed. And when you're talking about a guy's wheels in terms of speed, you got to get him 100%. And so he should be back very soon.
What about Trey? I know he ran, but he's still running a little limp.
He practiced. He's still limping a little bit. We've got 4 days left. We just have to wait and see. I don't want him to go unless he's full speed. There's no reason. And we've got other guys that can go. Savage practice again today. Both of them practice almost the whole time during their reps. But I want to make sure that they can number one, defend themselves if they get in a situation that's called for.
Merrill Johnson?
Pardon?
The injured Merrill Johnson?
Merrill shoulder, bruised shoulder, did not practice. He's probably doubtful for the game. He'll dress out tomorrow, but he'll be doubtful. Whatever doubtful means, I read that all the time.
How about Will Hyde?
Will Hyde, his hamstring is just one of those nagging things. And, he played some last week, and if he plays this week, it won't be the whole time, but he is practicing, and I think that, that'll just be a time thing where it'll get better as it goes. It's not going to be 100%, but it'll get better as it goes.
Are you having to talk to the players at all about having a sense of urgency?
Oh, no. They've had a sense of urgency. I've had no problem with the intensity and their preparation, and they understand. Offensive football, as we talked in here last week, a week ago, is hard to play. It's all about execution. When you've got so many guys out there that are having to do it for the first time, it just seems like we can't get any consistency. So the sense of urgency is there. Their hunger is there. I always look at, are they hungry to play? Do they want to get it done? And this group has worked overtime, all of them. And I have no complaints with anybody. The offensive staff, they take it to heart. This is their livelihood. They understand it. They take pride in doing things and doing it right. And when we make a mistake, it hurts everybody. But again, we got a lot of potential, and as long as we keep making progress like we did from the first game to the second game, we're going to be fine.